Before Europe became rich, India was already the world's superpower. Gold flowed into India, not out. And what happened before 1700 changed world history forever.
Imagine a world where India was not a developing country, but the richest place on earth. Before 1700, India was called Sone ki Chidiya, the golden bird. Not because of stories, but because India produced wealth, knowledge, trade and power that the world could not match. In fact, India controlled nearly 25% of the world's economy. Yes, 1/4 of the planet's wealth. So the real question is, how was India the world's superpower before 1700? Let's uncover the forgotten truth.
Before modern factories, India was the world's biggest manufacturing hub. India exported cotton textiles, silk, spices, steel, precious gems, handicrafts. Indian cloth was so valuable that Europeans called it woven gold. From Rome to Arabia, from China to Africa, everyone wanted Indian goods. And here's the shocking part. Europe had to pay India in gold and silver because India didn't need European products. That's why gold kept flowing into India. India before 1700 was not weak or divided. It was ruled by powerful empires like the Mughal Empire, the Vijayanagara Empire, the Marathas, Rajput kingdoms. The Mughal Empire alone was richer than all of Europe combined. Cities like Delhi, Agra, Lahore, Surat, Hampi were global centers of wealth. India had massive armies, grand forts, rich agriculture, advanced administration. This was not a poor land. This was an imperial superpower. India wasn't just rich. India was intellectually advanced. India gave the world zero, decimal system, algebra foundations, ancient astronomy, surgery and medicine, Ayurveda. Universities like Nalanda attracted scholars from China, Persia, Central Asia. India was the Silicon Valley of the ancient world. Europe was still in the Dark Ages while India was calculating planets. Many people think India had no sea power. Wrong. Indian merchants dominated the Indian Ocean trade. India had strong naval presence in Gujarat, Kerala, Bengal. Indian ships traded with Indonesia, Arabia, East Africa, China. The Indian Ocean was basically India's economic highway. Foreign travelers were shocked by India. Marco Polo wrote about India's riches. Ibn Battuta described Indian cities as luxurious. Even Europeans admitted India was a land of diamonds, spices, palaces, markets full of gold. India's middle class lived better than European peasants. India was the world's center of prosperity.
So now you understand, India wasn't colonized because it was weak. India was colonized because it was rich. Europe was desperate, that's why they came. Portuguese, Dutch, French, British, they didn't come for exploration, they came for India's treasure. And slowly, through trade companies, Europe began taking control.
Around the 1700s, India faced internal conflicts, decline of Mughal power, rise of European weapons, British East India Company expansion. The wealth that once flowed into India started flowing out. Colonialism didn't discover India. Colonialism drained India. India went from superpower to colony. Before 1700, India was not behind the world. India was leading the world. A global superpower in economy, trade, science, culture. The golden bird was real. And remembering this history is important because India's greatness is not a dream, it is a forgotten truth. Subscribe for more Untold Indian History documentaries.